Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. Anda sedang menyaksikan U-Wartawan, anda juga wartawan. Sedara, pada kunjungan Presiden Amerika Syarikat Barack Obama ke Malaysia baru-baru ini, beliau telah pun mengaturkan perjumpaan dengan 103 anak belia dari seluruh ASEAN. Dan anak muda belia ini, mereka di bawah inisiatif Pemimpin Muda Asia Tenggara YSEALI atau dalam bahasa Inggerisnya Young Southeast Asian Leaders Initiative. Apa itu YSEALI? Dan untuk kita mengetahui apakah sebenarnya fungsi dan manfaat YSEALI ini, bersama-sama dengan saya di studio ketika ini ialah Encik Aaron Zuartes, pegawai Jabatan Kedutaan Amerika Syarikat, dan juga di sebelah hujung sana kita ada Muhammad Ridwan Muhammad Rosli, juga peserta YSEALI yang berkesempatan bertemu dengan Presiden Barack Obama. Terima kasih banyak-banyak Encik Aaron, terima kasih banyak-banyak Ridwan. Alright, saya akan ajukan pertama kali soalan kepada Encik Aaron. Alright, Mr. Aaron, how does this all begin, this YSEALI?
Okay, so YSEALI itu merupakan satu program diciptakan oleh Presiden Obama sendiri. So it's an initiative that he began last year. He announced it in December of 2013. And it started with young people from Southeast Asia who had gone to the United States on our exchange programs with U.S. government exchange. And he wanted to find a way to empower these young people, engage with them, to see what they wanted to improve in their communities and what they want for the future.
Okay, so with so much bridging the gap between Asian countries, where does this U.S. role came in?
Well, one of the reasons President Obama created YSEALI was part of this rebalance to Asia. You may have heard that the U.S. government a few years ago said they wanted to pivot the foreign policy to put more emphasis on Asia. And at the time, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton said that the 21st century would be the Asian century. And so part of that is in Southeast Asia, 65% of the population is under the age of 35. So if we are going to engage with the people of Southeast Asia, we have to engage with the young people.
Yes, we have to engage with the youth.
Yes.
Now, I'm quite curious. How does Ridwan get to participate in this YSEALI? How does he happen to know this YSEALI program? Why didn't I get to join? Why didn't I get to meet and greet President Barack Obama and ask questions during his visit here?
Sebelum ini semua peserta YSEALI itu pernah pergi ke Amerika dengan exchange program. But now anybody can join YSEALI. We actually have a website now called youngsoutheastasianleaders.state.gov. And if you go there, you can join. You can put your ideas on there, and then maybe for the next conference, you might be chosen. But maybe Ridwan can explain a little bit about how he participated in the exchange program and what happened after that.
Yes, okay.
Ya, Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Okay.
Saya menyertai program pertukaran pelajar ini pada tahun 2010, iaitu yang dinamakan Study of the United States Institute, yang di mana saya telah berpeluang ke Chicago, Washington DC dan juga beberapa bandar lain di sekitar Illinois. Dan sebenarnya banyak program-program pertukaran pelajar yang dianjurkan oleh State Department melalui US Embassy setiap negara, terutamanya di Asia. Contohnya seperti tahun ini, kalau tidak salah saya, there's about 700 students who went for exchange program just coming from Southeast Asia. Yes, in the program. Jadi sebenarnya banyak, walau bagaimanapun mungkin masih ramai yang tidak tahu, tetapi menurut saya, apa yang saya dapat tahu, sekarang ini semakin ramai, setiap tahun peserta sudah semakin bertambah. Dan dengan inisiatif YSEALI ini, saya yakin lebih ramai yang akan mendapat peluang.
Dan semua program pertukaran itu didaftarkan dalam laman web kami, US Embassy.
Okay, all right. I'm curious. In that meeting, not just you guys building network and discuss serious stuff. What are the stuff that you guys discuss during this meeting, and who are the mentors? Because I was told that the mentors, they are actually, they are quite important, and they are actually very inspiring people.
So maybe I could explain that first. Last December in Manila, they had the first conference like this, and that is where President Obama made a video and announced the YSEALI initiative. And then for this first ever generation workshop here in Malaysia, we worked with an organization named Startup Malaysia. Startup Malaysia identified 16 mentors that they, from actually throughout ASEAN, also the United States, who would work with the young people. They included Dato Shaifuddin Abdullah, and then also from other countries, people like Sri Mumpuni from Indonesia and others. But maybe Ridwan, again, can explain how they worked with the mentors and what they did.
Yeah.
Yep, actually we had we had great mentors. They are very impressive, they are very inspiring. These people have worked hand in hand in their community, they have given back so much, and through this program, they are sharing those ideas and also their experience with us. They are teaching us on how to do better. And one thing I would have to say, these participants of YSEALI are also very impressive. For example, we have one girl from the Philippines who's also my teammate. She needs to travel 2 days from her village just to get to KLIA. However, di kampung dia sendiri banyak program-program yang dia buat yang dia engage dengan orang kampung dia. Contohnya dia bina telaga untuk orang kampung dia dan juga she teaches them English and everything. And another one fellow would be from Myanmar. His name was Min Koko. At the age of 24, he started his own school just to teach English. And if I'm not mistaken, right now he already have about 200 students in his school. Another one's participants wrote her own book at the age of 16.
Oh, okay.
Jadi inilah orang-orang yang untuk kumpulan yang pertama that came for the workshop. These are the people, and I believe through this initiative we can find more and we get to share more of this.
Saya kira ya Encik Aaron, Ridwan sangat mengagumkan sebenarnya prestasi rekod-rekod mereka yang terlibat dalam YSEALI ini, tapi kita nak tengok apa yang mereka bincangkan dan kita nak review balik apa soalan-soalan yang mereka tanya bersama dengan Presiden Obama selepas ini di U-Wartawan. Jangan ke mana-mana, tapi sebelum itu kita lihat apa kata-kata mentor-mentor YSEALI ini.
Saya terus terang senang sekali menjadi mentor anak-anak ASEAN ini, karena mereka sebagian besar anak-anak yang smart ya, cakap, pintar sekali. Mereka tidak perlu diberitahu harus mengerjakan ini, mengerjakan itu, tapi mereka hanya diberi guideline ya, bahwa kamu harus create project yang bagus dan project itu harus punya manfaat untuk masyarakat. Dan saya bilang bahwa ASEAN Community ini masih banyak ya, memiliki penduduk yang tinggalnya di desa, mereka masih banyak yang miskin, ada disparitas ya, is huge disparity, khususnya kalau kita bicara kemajuan Singapura, kemajuan Malaysia gitu, akan berbeda kalau kita bicara rural people ya, yang ada di Indonesia, yang ada di Vietnam, Kamboja, Laos, Myanmar, Filipina, ini beda. So the project harus bisa responding the problems. Jadi mengatasi persoalan-persoalan yang selama ini dihadapi oleh masyarakat miskin di pedesaan. Mereka paham sekali dan program yang dibuat sangat bagus.
This was a good opportunity for me to share with this youth and also share information from Africa with them, and also see what we can copy from here, take to Africa, and also see what we can copy from Africa and bring to ASEAN. This was really an amazing opportunity, and the youth here are very creative, they are very active. I'm happy to work with them.
Bertemu kembali di U-Wartawan. Kita masih bercerita tentang inisiatif Pemimpin Muda Asia Tenggara atau YSEALI, dan kita sebentar tadi kita bercerita tentang kepentingan sebenarnya YSEALI ini, dan ia bukan satu program kosong ya. Dan saya masih lagi bersama dengan Pegawai Jabatan Kedutaan Amerika Syarikat Encik Aaron Suartes, dan juga seorang lagi tamu baru saya iaitu Fariza Iliana, juga seorang peserta YSEALI. Terima kasih banyak-banyak Fariza. Okey, alright, Mr. Aaron, Fariza, I was told during the 3 days of program, there's actually 4 issues that being brought upon. What are these 4 issues?
So,
Yeah.
so there actually, back in Manila in 2013, I told you there was a pre-summit. And at that pre-summit, the young people were asked what were the issues that were most important to them.
Okay.
And at that time, they chose economic prosperity, the environment, education, and civic engagement in ASEAN.
Okey.
Mau jelaskan sedikit?
Exactly that. I think at YSEALI, what we did was that we were assigned to different groups depending on what our interests were.
Okay, so what are your interests, Fariza?
Education. I work for Teach for Malaysia, so definitely education.
Okay, so I was also told that during this program, I mean, you guys also pitch programs for with the mentors. So macam mana dengan pitching ini? Adakah ia merupakan satu pertandingan ke atau apakah sebenarnya antara program-program telah anda usulkan kepada mentor-mentor ini?
So dalam masa 4 hari itu, apa yang berlaku ialah di Startup Malaysia, diorang ada sediakan modul-modul di mana kami diajar macam mana untuk menyediakan budget, macam mana nak menggunakan social media untuk mempromotkan projek-projek kami. So bagi kumpulan saya, kami punya projek, nama dia Book of ASEAN. And I think it's a lot to do with the ASEAN Economic Integration next year in 2015. And a lot of us, we realized that we don't know each other's stories. I don't know much about Thailand. I don't know much about Cambodia. And what we wanted to do was compile all these stories together so that we have essentially one heritage to tell and to present to the world. So that was our proposal.
Okey, macam mana pula dengan reaksi para mentor ketika anda mengusulkan projek yang seumpama ini?
So for me, untuk saya, mentor saya Elect Diaz, and Elect Diaz merupakan seorang yang memang terkenal di Philippines. So to give you a bit of a background, he actually during Yolanda, he actually lit up several hundred homes when there was no electricity. So he actually came up with a system where mineral water bottles were changed into solar lights, and he lit several homes. So he is an impressive person to have as a mentor, and his experience in project management really helped us as a team to come up with our project.
Okay, so much talk on bridging gaps between among Asian countries. Sebenarnya apa yang anda lihat kepentingan untuk kita build satu network dan juga pemahaman di antara satu negara ASEAN dengan negara ASEAN lain? Apa pentingnya kita berbuat sedemikian, Fariza?
I guess yang paling penting sekali sebab sebagai ASEAN kita perlu untuk kepada satu dunia, we have to present at least one identity or some form of unity or solidarity.
Okay.
And we don't have that right now. And I think through YSEALI and other initiatives by the US Embassy, we have the opportunity to meet other young leaders from different countries, and we exchange ideas and we build a strong network. And we know that this network would last more than just the conference and through time and later on.
Right, if such program is available in United States, and how does this youth in United States engage with other youth in other countries, Mr. Aaron?
So the State Department, which I work for, has
Okay.
exchange programs that not just brings foreigners to the United States, but also young Americans to other parts of the world.
Okay.
So for example, we have one program where we have 9 high school students from the United States that are in Malaysia this year studying at schools here in Malaysia.
Okay.
But I think certainly this YSEALI initiative is an opportunity for the youth from Southeast Asia to make their what they're interested in known. And so, as I mentioned, that website, anybody can join and anybody can load a video there expressing what they're interested in and what they want to improve about their communities. And in theory, they could also connect with Americans through, I mean, that's what's great about the internet is it's not limited, right, by
Yes.
geography.
Okay, so this is actually the first inaugural meeting YSEALI held in Malaysia.
Yes.
There will be other meetings as well. How, if should we the youth are interested, how can we join? Is there any specific requirements? You have to be this, and then you have to walk for 16 kilometers or for 2 days. Come here. Is there any requirements? Specific requirements?
The main requirements are you must be aged 18 to 35
Okay.
and a citizen of ASEAN, and that's it. But other than that, I mean, I think that we're really looking for young leaders who really want to make a difference in their communities.
All right. Upcoming plans for YSEALI after Malaysia. I'm sure there are other meetings as well. What are the plans?
Belum diumumkan.
Okay.
So I don't know yet, but I'm sure soon it will evolve and they'll announce it.
Okay, Fariza mungkin nak tambah sikit, Fariza. Ketika itu anda buat pitching tu dan anda sempat juga bertemu dengan Presiden Barack Obama kan. Apa yang anda tanyakan ketika itu dan apakah yang bermain di benak fikiran anda ketika itu bersama dengan peserta-peserta ASEAN ini dan juga ketiga bersama dengan Presiden Barack Obama dalam perjumpaan itu?
Mungkin ramai yang cakap masa town hall tu soalan-soalan yang ditanyakan tak betapa serius ataupun tak betapa macam nak cakap macam sensational kan. Tapi untuk saya sebagai audience, I felt like the questions were relevant. We were all aspiring leaders. We want to know what it's like in his shoes, and all those questions that people were saying, why didn't we ask about TPPA? Why didn't we ask about Syria? Why didn't we ask about, human
Palestine,
rights,
yes.
Palestine,
Okay.
all these things?
Right.
You can ask about that, but there's already a standard answer that's been given, and you can Google that up. But questions about his own personal views on, what happiness is and what he regrets, those are things that we want to know as we become leaders in the next few years.
Okay, so saya merasakan mungkin sebenarnya engagement di antara anak muda dengan orang itu sebenarnya banyak berkisah tentang kemanusiaan, kehidupan mereka kan. Okey, sangat menarik. Kita akan bincang lebih lanjut lagi tentang apa yang anda tanyakan ini selepas ini di U-Wartawan. Jangan ke mana-mana. Tapi sebelum itu kita saksikan VT ini dahulu.
I would say that the group of YSEALI participants coming from all over 10 countries, this is a group of people that not only talk, they take actions as well. That's why we are here. Most of the people, most of my new friends here, my new very young friends, they own a project of themselves, they run NGOs, they are part of the community program, and they want to help contribute and develop to their community. Some of them even do cross-border work, and I would call them real leader and real community builder, because as what I said earlier, sitting there, tweeting, Facebooking, talking a lot, remain as a talker. Yes, you provide your opinion, you share your ideas, but eventually at the end of the day, we need people who do real work.
YSEALI is an amazing opportunity to connect with various ASEAN youth leaders from the different countries, in 10 countries. And not just that, the program that's lined up over the past 3 days has been really hectic and really packed with a lot of engagement from world experts in the particular field of, say, social media marketing, as well as to pitching, entrepreneurial drive. There's a lot of a plethora of programs that's organized, and it was well delivered by experts in the field who have flown in from all over the world. So I'm really happy to be part of this initiative and to represent Singapore.
This is like the first chance for me to join the conference. Well, some of the participants are already joining the conference in ASEAN, so I'm still a learner here since I'm so young. And what I learned from YSEALI is that a lot of young people can actually change a lot of things, even in our country, especially in Indonesia. There are 17,000 islands, about 17,000 islands, which is, there are some areas that is unreachable, and somehow what we need is we have to innovate, we have to be the inspiration of the young generation in each area to change their own area.
This is the third some sort of summit and workshop that I joined. First was in Indonesia, second one was in Manila, and this is the third one in KL. And it's really great, because knowing those people that before this, and you get to meet them again, and you get to know about the project, because this is a place where we get to talk about our own project and get ideas from there, like how can we improvise our project from there. So once again, meeting them is awesome.
Baiklah, itu tadi komen-komen para peserta YSEALI mengenai program YSEALI yang diadakan bersempena dengan kunjungan Presiden Barack Obama ke Malaysia. Okey, kali ini saya bersama dengan peserta YSEALI daripada Malaysia, mereka adalah Ridwan dan juga Fariza. Sebenarnya banyak cakap-cakap di media sosial dan juga di luar di sana yang mana mengkritik sebenarnya semasa anda berdua ini berada di perjumpaan tersebut. Kenapa tak tanyakan isu-isu penting pandangan Presiden Barack Obama sendiri mengenai isu-isu tentang mungkin Palestin, isu-isu yang berkisar tentang concern of the Muslim community and also other issues. Hala, tanya pasal kebahagiaan dia, tanya pasal kekecewaan dia, tanya pasal startup community dia. Mungkin anda berdua ada sebenarnya justifikasi di sebalik soalan-soalan yang dilontarkan oleh para peserta YSEALI semasa berjumpa dengan Presiden Barack Obama itu. Mungkin nak start dulu.
Pertamanya saya rasa kita harus faham. YSEALI itu sebenarnya ketika perjumpaan town hall itu sebenarnya Presiden Barack Obama ingin bersama peserta YSEALI. Selain daripada peserta YSEALI yang di mana dia yang mengasaskan YSEALI, iaitu untuk belia-belia di Asia Tenggara. Selain daripada itu, penonton-penonton yang lain dijemput hadir bersama-sama. Jadi sebenarnya dia sedang bercakap kepada peserta program yang dia asaskan, yang di mana objektif program ini adalah untuk kebaikan Asia Tenggara. Kemanakah di mana empowerment and engagement untuk belia di Asia Tenggara, bukan kami tidak boleh bertanya soalan itu. Memang kami boleh bertanya, tetapi kurang tepat ruang dan masanya. Dan saya percaya soalan-soalan yang dilontarkan, kita tidak boleh mempersoalkan soalan, tetapi kenapa kita tidak lihat jawapan yang diberikan. Betul soalan itu cuma 5 saat, 10 saat. It was only a 10 second or 15 second question max. But the answers that the President of the United States gave, it was 10 to 15 minutes. And some of the answers are never ever heard before in the whole world.
Okey, mungkin Fariza nak tambah sikit, Fariza? Atau mungkin Fariza ada pendapat yang berbeza berbanding Ridwan?
Agak sama jugalah. Untuk saya, macam soalan-soalan ditanyakan sangat relevant, especially if you look at the name of the program itself. It's Young Southeast Leaders Initiative. And as we develop into leaders, we need to know what qualities we need to have as leaders. And no one better knows that than the President of the United States. I thought that the questions were, excellent. I stand by my fellow participants. I think that the questions were relevant, and it's really refreshing to hear the President expose sort of like the human side of him, because a lot of times you see pre-recorded answers, and those are standard answers that you can see in any news network. But at the town hall, he actually told us a bunch of different things. He told us about his mother, not spending enough time with his mother, and those are very personal things. And to see the very human side of Barack Obama, it was endearing. It was exciting to know that he's just like anyone else, and he has the same concerns.
Okey, ada juga kritik kata, adakah ini merupakan soalan-soalan ini satu perlambangan bahawa sebenarnya anak-anak muda belia kita ini sebenarnya tidak kisah isu-isu yang sedang berlaku di sekeliling mereka?
Kerana kisahlah kita bertanya soalan-soalan tu, dan kerana kisahlah juga kita tidak membuat kontroversi. Kerana kami kisah. And we as the leaders which have been chosen and everything, we understand our leader. And also we understand the leader who's talking at that day. Jadi persoalan-persoalan yang kami berikan, kami inginkan jawapan, tetapi bukan jawapan yang standard. Bukan jawapan yang biasa kita boleh dengar, buka TV dengar jawapan tu. Kami ingin tahu jawapan daripada seorang pemimpin. Bila kita memahami pemimpin, kita dapat mengetahui macam mana dia membuat keputusan. Jadi dengan cara itu saya rasa soalan-soalan diberikan sangat relevan dan juga sangat baru. Dan saya percaya apa yang saya dengar daripada media-media antarabangsa, they said it was one of the best and the most happiest town hall session in the region. Dan itu satu kejayaan bagi saya.
I mean, I think it was I think the questions were real. And for me, really, as I was sitting there and listening to him talk, the only question that I had in my mind is that if these are the problems in our country, what can I do? What should I do? What can I do to fix these problems? And what can I do as a Malaysian to understand more about the problems that we have in order for me to find out what the solutions are. So I think a lot of times people put the question out there saying that, mungkin anak-anak muda di ASEAN perlu lagi critical and perlu tanya soalan yang lebih sensasi. Tapi actually the only question we should ask ourselves is what can we do?
Kata orang kan kalau kita nak mulakan satu kebajikan itu kita bermula daripada rumah. Kita start small. Mungkin nak tambah sikit komen saya tentang bermula satu kebajikan itu pada rumah. Mula kecil dulu. Jangan kita fikirkan satu isu yang lebih besar dulu. Ridwan?
Betul. Saya percaya contohnya seperti peserta-peserta YSEALI yang dipilih. Mereka semua adalah pemimpin. Mungkin ramai masyarakat di luar salah faham mengenai YSEALI. Mereka ingatkan YSEALI ini adalah pemimpin-pemimpin muda politik. Tidak. YSEALI mengumpulkan pemimpin-pemimpin komuniti di ASEAN. Jadi pemimpin komuniti itu mungkin ada dalam bidang pendidikan, dalam bidang civic engagement dan juga lain-lain. Mereka adalah pemimpin komuniti. Jadi saya percaya dengan objektif YSEALI itu sendiri memberikan satu peluang, memberikan satu ruang memberikan satu jaringan kepada pemimpin-pemimpin muda yang telah banyak berkhidmat di peringkat komuniti untuk menjadikan mereka lebih baik. Dan juga melalui program-program YSEALI juga memberi ruang dan juga peluang dana sebenarnya untuk orang-orang ini
menggerakkan projek-projek mereka di peringkat akar umbi.
Iya.
Okey. Terakhir Fariza, 30 saat saya berikan kepada anda. Apakah anda belajar daripada program YSEALI ini dan bagaimanakah anda diinspirasikan daripada program ini untuk terus menggerakkan lagi Teach for Malaysia yang anda turut serta?
I think probably one of the biggest things I've learned is that a lot of times we look outside. Kita tengok dekat United States, kita tengok untuk mentor-mentor, inspiration to come from outside. But with YSEALI, I saw a lot of mentors from ASEAN regions and success stories from ASEAN. And I was fully inspired by the work that they're doing here. And I'm very amazed and very proud to be ASEAN and a citizen of ASEAN because of the great work that's being done.
Baiklah, terima kasih banyak-banyak Fariza, terima kasih banyak-banyak Ridwan. Itu saja masa yang kami ada, terjawab sudah apa YSEALI itu dan fungsinya kepada anak muda ASEAN ini. Sehingga kita berjumpa lagi di hari yang lain, di program yang lain. Saya Nurhana Ismail, kita jumpa lagi. Assalamualaikum.